It is straight up 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. My name is, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I'm going to get these time zones together. And look, I told Miss Jackson, me and her was the only one on here at 7:30. I got on here at 7:30 thinking it was time for us to kick off. I was excited about tonight. So 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Did I get my time zones right, ladies? Okay, awesome. My name is Latoya Mayberry. I hail out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Athens, Alabama. Excited, but listen, I want to just kind of give you a brief overview of how we came up with Mompreneurs. And Mompreneurs actually came out about over 3 years ago. And I actually had an epiphany. I was sitting in my living room one night, and I was just thinking, and I was praying, and I was meditating. And God said, listen, I've given you a great gift, but not only have I given you a great gift, you're surrounded by some amazing women who have really defeated the odds, that has really actually take control of this opportunity and helping so many other women do the exact same thing. It's time to put a panel of women together where they can share their stories, their testimonies, how they have overcame some things, but they did not stop. And I was like, okay, this is it. We all are moms, so why not do mompreneurs? So it happened 3 years ago, and it originally started with this panel of ladies. Y'all, yes, it was all of us that started the mompreneurs, and as you can see, within 3 years, man, everybody has advanced to a new level, making six figures, most of them doing it part-time. But not only that, they help so many people. And that's what we're doing. We're not selfish. We don't want to leave anybody out. We want to share our story. We want to show how we did it. And the companies that we are partnered with has actually helped over 57,000 individuals. I came in the opportunity 4 years ago myself, and I came in to really just travel. And the travel industry just to travel. That's all I wanted to do. I have a daughter, and I wanted to have some fun. I was time broke. Not only was I time broke, I didn't have any personal freedom, but this opportunity helped me get my life back. It helped me really, truly gain the freedom that I desire. Financially, I thought I was safe and secure until, I'm going to tell you, 4 years ago, a furlough happened to me, and it cut my check in half. Y'all, it had me living from paycheck to paycheck. You'll hear Miss McGowan share the same exact story. It was a crisis similar to this because we didn't have control of it. We just had to really decide to do something different. And that's just what we did. We changed our mindsets. We became entrepreneurs, and we actually hit the ground running. We said, listen, we're not going to leave anybody left behind. So I want to jump into the panel, and I'm going to let them share who they are. But first of all, go ahead, text the person that invited you. Tell them thank you for not allowing you to miss this. If you have any questions, you feel free. There's a Q&A section here. We will answer all questions at the end. So let's jump in, ladies. Are y'all ready? I know y'all are. Y'all smiling? Y'all look like y'all ready. All right. Let's go out here to Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all, I moved to Atlanta back in April, and I fell in love with Atlanta, but I have not fell in love with the traffic. Hate it. But anyway, these ladies that I'm about to bring to the line, I'm going to first start out here in Atlanta, Georgia, to this mompreneur right here, Miss Natalie Alexander. How are you on tonight?
Oh my goodness, Miss Mayberry, I am doing absolutely amazing. You know, these nights just put a smile on my face every single time to see these amazing moms.
Well, you can tell to put a smile on my face. I was an hour early. But
yeah,
tell the listeners on the line, who is Natalie Alexander, and why did you choose this opportunity?
Oh my goodness. So a little bit about me. I come from traditional entrepreneurship, right? And so I was looking for more in life. I wanted more because even though I made a lot of money in the restaurant industry, I come from the restaurant industry. So I made a lot of money, but there were some things that I was robbed from. I was robbed from the ability just to spend time with my children. I was robbed from the ability just to go, spend money, right? Without having to check my bank account first. I was robbed from so many just freedoms. I was robbed all in my 20s from going on vacation, Miss Mayberry. And so a little bit about me. I don't know how I managed to get married, right? I think I just found someone and just said, you know what, you coming with me. And so we have a blended family with 8 children. So I have 2 little ones here at the house. So I am a wife and I'm a mother. but mostly, I'm a person that loves to give. And so I was kind of running into issues and obstacles because I wanted to give so much, but I didn't have anything to give, right? I was giving my last and then I found out I just had negative, right? So when I saw this opportunity, my friends brought it to me and they said, Natalie, you know what? I was so glad that they pulled my coattail and they told me the truth. They said, I'm tired of watching you count change over here at the water department, right? They literally sat there at the water department because I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so even though I had a multi-million-dollar business, Miss Mayberry, I was always giving. So I gave before I took, I gave. And if there's any other moms out there that you find yourself giving before you find anything pouring into you, then this opportunity is for you. So I saw this opportunity for a moment just to be selfish. Can I be transparent tonight? I said, there are some things that I need for myself, Miss Mayberry. And so when I saw this opportunity, I said, you know what? This is going to be my selfish move. I'm going to find a way to put some extra money in my pocket. I'm going to find a way to take my family on trips all around the world that I know I dreamt of, but I'm going to find a way to help families along the way. And so when I saw that I could fill up all of those passions and purposes in my life, then that's when I said this was the right vehicle for me. Back to you, Ms. Mayberry.
Awesome. And I know some moms can relate when you're just focused on really you're raising your children, but also trying to make a living all at the same time. Even though you have a husband, you seem like you pulled in between. Well, as you can see, this young lady, she said, nope, there's no stopping me. So let's stay out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go out there to Miss Tisha DeShields out of Atlanta, Georgia. How are you on today?
I am doing great, mompreneur Mayberry, and the rest of the panelists. I'm definitely doing great and looking forward each and every week that we get to come together on this live. I mean, it's an exciting time.
Well, you look great. And I want you to tell the listeners on the line, we know we have moms and dads, gentlemen on the line. Now, tell them, who is Tisha DeShields and why did you take advantage of this amazing opportunity?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as mompreneur Mayberry said, I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I come from the little state of Delaware. I am an extremely busy person. So how many extremely busy people are listening in right now? I am a mom of 4 children. My kids play sports. How many sports moms are listening in? Guys, I mean, I literally was going city to city, state to state, and country to country with my kids. And a random stranger on social media found me, saw me traveling, posting my whereabouts, and he just reached out to me, ladies and gentlemen. So when I saw this opportunity, I only saw the travel side of the opportunity. I only saw how I could benefit from what I was doing anyway, because I was a product of the product. I enjoyed what I did. I just didn't understand the importance of becoming a merchant inside of this industry. So I tell people all the time that the industry found me. I was not looking, to get into the travel space at all. I was just, enjoying my children and saw an opportunity for me to put my children on the other side of the industry where we could totally live our life unapologetically out loud, ladies and gentlemen. And then when I saw how it worked, because that's one of the things that most of us, are concerned about when we're looking at opportunities is, does it work? I just couldn't keep it to myself, right? Because I didn't want to be selfish, because I had this information. I began to just share it. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you I was ignorance on fire, I was ignorance on fire. I was telling the world about what I had. And lo and behold, organically, I began to, help some people along the way. We're helping some they want to live their lives and bring that extra income. So it's an incredible vehicle. I absolutely love it. I love being in partnership with you amazing ladies and the rest of the family that we've created here with this opportunity. So back to you, mompreneur Mayberry.
And I got to add it because you did not tell it. And when y'all don't tell it, I'm going to add it. You did not tell that you have 2 professional children playing sports. I always have to throw that in there. I think she froze up. So I'm going to let her come back in and hopefully she'll add that when she come back in. Well, y'all, did you hear me, Mr. Shields? I think she heard me. All right, let's stay out here in Atlanta, Georgia.
I heard you.
Okay, let's go to Miss Lynn Hendricks out of Atlanta, Georgia. How are you on today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I am amazing. Thank you so much for asking. So tell the listeners on the line, who is Lynn Hendricks and why did you decide you needed something different in this opportunity?
Wow. So I am a wife. I'm a mom. I am an Oma, which means that I have grandchildren. They call me Oma. And, I'm originally from Boston. I've been living in Atlanta for about 20 years. And I'm a person that, I came very humble beginnings. I was a single mom. I had my first son at 16, my second at 18. And so, when you have two children, at an early age, you have to grow up really quickly. And that's what I did. And I started working at the age of 16, right? Because I was still in high school, and I struggled financially, for more than half my life, I struggled financially raising my sons. And, came a time I was always working. There came a time that I went through a layoff. And it caused me to lose everything. And I don't know if there's anyone out there that can relate, that has ever gone through anything like that. But, for me, it took me a really long time to find another job. And I ended up going through foreclosure, repossession, bankruptcy, homelessness, all with two kids, by myself. And so, one of the things when I was introduced to this business by one of my girlfriends who I've been friends with for over 30 years, I will tell you, I did not see it initially. And there are probably a lot of folks that get introduced to this, that you've been invited to take a look and, and you may be like me, I didn't see it, right? But one of the things I had to realize is you can't be broke and skeptical all at the same time. It does not work. And I said, okay, you know what? I see the travel. I wanted to travel more. My husband and I, we wanted to do some more traveling. And so I got started because I wanted to travel. But then my why changed, and I think that happens for so many of us. You get started for one reason. And then, I realized that I could impact other people. At some point you have to realize it's bigger than you, right? And that's what I ultimately understood, was that there were more people just like me that wanted to be able to travel more, travel better, travel for less, supplement their income, and impact other people's lives as well. And so that's what I've been able to do with this business. And I'm just so, so grateful for it.
Well, thank you so much. I'll come back around to you. Let's go out there to Madison, Alabama. Miss Rashiba McGowan, how are you?
All right. Can you hear me now? Awesome. Good. I'm great. And I'm smiling from ear to ear, listening to all the moms just share some of their stories. I know we're cutting it close. So thank you for having me.
Go ahead and tell the listeners who is Miss Rashiba McGowan and why.
Okay. Sorry. I thought I lost you. So I'm a little different. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. From Palm Beach, Florida, guys. I always say the home of the rich and famous, very, very expensive place to live. So I watch my parents, struggle, work their jobs, plus become entrepreneurs in order to get the additional stream of income. So I was born and raised in that environment, the only girl of three boys, right? And so, we had I think I had a great childhood, but what we were taught is to go to school, make good grades, get a good job, right? And so, something big happened to my life, which happens to a lot of us, but my mom was murdered when I was 15 years old. And so, my world was shook, y'all. I mean, I thought that was the end. I was just really in a phase in my life transitioning until I was in high school. So, that's when most girls need their moms. And so we relocated, and guys, it was a very small town, which I love, right? But it's called Enterprise, Alabama. So, it was just a different culture for me, coming from Palm Beach, Florida to Enterprise, Alabama, having to deal with the death of my mom, growing up in a house with three boys. So, of course, my mindset shifted. And I began to really look for something greater. I began to dig deep. Okay, God, what is it that you really desire me to do in my life, right? So I actually found Alabama A&M University, and I think that was a blessing in disguise. I met my husband, I graduated, actually had a government job, my junior year, going into my junior year in college, right? Married my college sweetheart. We have a beautiful baby girl. And so I always say what seems to be, a bitter trial often is a blessing in disguise. And a young lady that I mentored because of Alabama A&M introduced me to this industry. And can I tell y'all, I listened. I took advantage of it, kind of like the moms just shared with you today. It was a no-brainer. When I heard of a way to get paid doing what I was already doing, in addition to my plan A, having the support from my family, I said, oh, this is it. Again, oh my God, this is it. Some of the best things that happen to us are because of the worst things that happen to us. And so here I am, a little over 4 years later, have helped over 1,000 people start a travel business. So stay tuned. I hope you're taking notes. Back to you, Miss Mayberry.
Thank you. Let's go out to there to Houston, Texas, where they do everything big. Miss LaVonda Thornton-Bush, how are you?
I'm great. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear, ma'am. Take it away. Let them know who is LaVonda Thornton-Bush and why.
Wow. So I am that introvert that never, ever, ever thought that I would be a six-figure earner, being my own boss. You guys, just imagine starting in a career that you absolutely love. That was me. I was a high school mom as well. I graduated high school in 3 years so I can go to college early. I remember working 3 jobs and being in 15 hours of college classes with a baby. And I remember one day my dad was like, hey, you need to quit one of those jobs, because I was always tired. I was like, Daddy, I can't quit. I need all these jobs to pay all these bills, right? And, even then I knew that I was doing things the wrong way, but I stepped into my dream career where I was able to travel 85% of the time. I was a single mom for 11 years. So it was really, really big for me to be that career woman and also that supportive sports mom. So my son, as an only child, was in everything, y'all. He played basketball, football, ran track, he swam, and he even had the nerve to play the trombone. So we were busy year round. And I remember meeting my husband. I met my husband, and thank God he understood how busy I was, how important it was. We got married. We had 2 kids together. And guess what? I missed a lot of time. I missed time with my husband. I missed time with myself. I missed my baby girl's first steps. Any mom who is on here today, understand how important it is for your baby to take their first steps into your arms. I witnessed my baby taking her first steps on FaceTime into the arms of my babysitter. That is still really hard for me to share, because I was over 1,000 miles away on a business trip for a job that I worked when I was tired, when I worked when my kids were sick, when I worked through holidays, when I worked and missed football games of my son as he got older. And that same job 4 years ago, yesterday, told me they no longer needed me. Time that I could never get back, that I chose to invest in them, it meant nothing. And so at that moment, I realized I was already in this business that was paying me a full-time income on a part-time basis. I looked at my husband and I was like, dude, I am done with corporate America. I am going to invest that work ethic and that time that I invested in that job into my own business. And so I sit here today amongst these amazing women, these amazing moms, and I'm excited because I do not regret that decision. Back to you.
Wow. Now, how many moms can relate to that? All these moms have some amazing testimony, and you almost brought tears to my eyes again, because I can remember watching the video of my daughter walking to her grandmother's arms. And I'm like, man, I wasn't there because I was working, providing her needs. And of course, we all know we got to work, but this opportunity is definitely giving moms the opportunity to work from anywhere in the world. Let's go out there to Upland, California, to the #1 income earner in the state of California, Miss Desiree Benson. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. Tell them, who is Miss Desiree Benson and why this opportunity?
Well, before I do that, of course, I want to, on behalf of all the women on the panel, the fabulous ladies, right? Our unity is just amazing. But I want to throw it back to you and just let everybody across the world know that we are here because of you. Like you said at the beginning, for those who missed it, this was birthed in you, and we just grab hold to your vision. 4-star director, guys, founder director in our company, became a director within the first 40 days of the inception of our company. You're talking about a woman who has a heart of gold, helping thousands and thousands of people all across the country, has a Jamaica team, right? So she is global, not only helping the United States team, but her team in Jamaica. This woman sports the ruby ring, guys, signifying earnings of at least $250,000 in a 12-month calendar period. And she did that on a part-time basis because she was working her good government job at the time. I'm absolutely amazing. I'm honored to be on the panel with such distinguished, giving, loving women. Guys, each and every one of us know each other personally. This is not a game. This is not a fad. This is not made up, rehearsed. We are just here to pour into you and let you know that if you relate to any one of our stories, mine is 14 years ago. Well, let's back up. I'm a woman of God. I'm a mom. I'm a wife, and have 2 beautiful children. Our youngest daughter is 22 years old. She has special needs because the day she was born normal one day, the next day she had an adverse reaction to her vaccine. A month later, nearly coded. 2 months later, had another adverse reaction to a different vaccine. She absolutely can't do anything for herself. So I sit here and I listen to the other moms and I kind of go, because I've never seen her walk, right? Not on FaceTime, not on anybody's time, right? But guys, it is not a sad story because guess what? Because of this industry that my husband saved my life with, and I do mean saved my life, he doesn't even know how much he saved my life because it's between me and God. We have some deep, dark times, right? Where it's been a hard, long road. But my husband had the foresight after I had to give up my career of working in corporate America for a decade that I had gone to school and gotten that degree for, right? Guess what? I had to give it up after 10 years to stay home and take care of that child that has special needs. But my husband, 8 years later, this industry was brought to him at work by a friend by the name of Robert Wesley. And he said, you guys are traveling anyway. You might as well start earning income off the travel you're already doing. So my husband went to a presentation. I was at home taking care of our youngest daughter. And when he came home and told me, you need to do this business. And I looked at him like, you must be crazy. Like, I don't have time to do anything else. You saw the presentation. So how about you do the business, right? But guys, he didn't listen to me. He invited our friend over on his birthday. My husband's birthday is March 16th. So March 16th, 2006, that was a day that has forever changed my life in the industries of network marketing and in the industry of travel. Back to you, Ms. Mayberry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you heard the testimonies. I needed these ladies to really share their story because some people see the glory, but they don't know the story behind it. They don't know what it took to get to where they are. So I needed them to really share with you what it took and where they came from. So now we're going to dive into some important information. Again, grab a pen and paper so you can take a copious notes. And I want to go back out there to Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Tish DeShields, I want you, you talked about it a little bit before. You said you came inside the industry. You saw it because you were traveling with your children. Now you got 2 professional athlete children, one on the way. I can see her going too. She will definitely be playing for the WNBA. I can see it. But tell what this industry has done from you. I mean, why the travel industry? And can you give them some examples of what it looks like?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, why travel? One, it's the most lucrative and sexiest industry out there. Let's start there, right? And also, it's an industry that no one's allergic to. I mean, whether you're 5 years old or 85 years old, you want to go somewhere. I promise you, if you ask your kids where they want to go, they want to go to Disney, right? You ask your grandmother where she wants to go, I'm sure she has a trip planned in her head to Italy or Europe, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I love travel. The world is traveling. And guess what? Even if you're not traveling, you need to position yourself where you can have those travel transactions go through you and your family. Well, why travel? That's why, because I love it. We all love it. And the travel industry has allowed for me to travel like a rock star. People thought I was traveling before like a rock star, but when I tell you being a merchant is way better than being a consumer, you will be blown away, not only by the access that we have, right? You know, we have access to inventory that the general public doesn't have access to, right? We have access to some amazing trips where we get to go and experience them from the client's perspective so that we can be better travel bookers and better educated to help our clients. So I've been able to travel. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's why I can't stay at home, is because it's so much fun. You know, I tell people my occupation looks like most people's vacation, right? So who doesn't want to have massages by the beach, right? Who doesn't want to sit in those jacuzzis and partake in those adult beverages? I think we all do, right? So, well, ladies and gentlemen, I love travel. You know, it's allowed for me to travel like a rock star, but it's also allowed for me to put together some incredible trips. I mean, how many of you on this line know people that belong to organizations, right? You know, those sororities and those fraternities, right? What about those church groups? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I happen to put together a spring break trip for some seniors in high school. They saw me posting my pictures on social, sharing video of all my various locations, and they reached out to me because they knew I was in the travel industry. I put together a senior trip a couple of years ago. It started out with 35 rooms. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, right? But let me tell you, that group grew and it grew and it grew and it grew to over 90 rooms. Now, you know, this is high school senior trip. Ladies and gentlemen, we were once in high school before, and you know, you can't go on a spring trip by yourself, right? You're taking some other people with you. So there was 2 people in a room, 3 people in a room, and then there was 4 people in a room. Well, by the time this trip took off, it was about 250 people that went to a 5-star all-inclusive resort in Mexico of their choice. That's the thing I want you to know. I didn't have to beg them to go or twist their arm. They were going to go anyway. I just helped organize it. They went on the trip. They created some incredible memories. They took pictures. They was posting, you know, videos. When they returned from their trip, they had those memories, and I got a commission check of over $20,000, ladies and gentlemen. Not only did I get the money and I had a big payday, but that resort, as a courtesy to me, you know, the booking agent, they allowed for me to get 4 double occupancy rooms at that very same property. And I was able to bless 7 other people. How many of you would love to just bless some other people and give them a free trip? And the only thing that we had to be responsible for was our airfare to Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, this business can make you money, and it can put you in a position where you can bless a whole lot of people. Back to you, Mompreneur Mayberry.
Wow, did y'all hear that? $20,000 off of one booking. How many could use $20,000 to things get better? Yeah. Everybody raise their hand. Yeah, right. $20,000. I mean, the company allows you to be that travel advisor. I mean, book travel earns 70 to 80% of the commission of all travel that is booked. Now, that is amazing, right? Off of what people are going to do anyway. Miss McGowan, I'm going to bring you up because listen, you work this business part-time, but you've been able to actually earn a 6-figure income. And I know we say part-time, but of course we know you do full-time hours. But that's a dedicated person that really dedicated to changing lives. So let's talk about being able to do this part-time.
Absolutely. I always say, you know, being an entrepreneur is not part-time, it's not full-time, it's the lifestyle. And so even though I only knew in my mind I can only commit a few hours, maybe just 2 or 3 days a week when I started my business, I understood I was going to be a product of the product. And so it became a lifestyle. Travel. Director just said that no one is allergic to it. It's sexy, it's fun. And so that was easy for me. I would literally come home, just play in my virtual back office, right? The TV's playing in my background. I committed to 2 days a week until it became so addicting. I didn't make $20,000, but I made a couple of hundred that would go pay for my daughter's daycare. We were putting her in, a private Christian academy, right? And so, I couldn't put it down. I said, okay, Tuesdays and Sundays, I will work my business. But can I tell y'all, every day I touched it 1 to 2 hours a day, and it began, to be a part of me. I would leave my government job and literally on my way to pick up my daughter and on my way to Alabama A&M cheer practice, I would call the supplier and I would say, hey, real quick, I have a client, tonight I need to get her some information. This is what she wants. And y'all, in 5 minutes, that quote was emailed to me. When I had my daughter to sleep, ate my meal, turned down the house, my glass, I was able to send my customer, that quote as the middleman, $200, right? It began $360, $500. Now I'm making thousands of dollars on something that takes me 10 minutes to do. And so, yes, it is the lifestyle. Travel is everybody's lifestyle. If you would ask anyone on this line, how many of y'all have booked a hotel, a rental car, a train ticket, airplane ticket? Everybody would raise their hand. So we're not doing anything different. We're not doing it on a part-time, full-time basis. We're doing it anyway. So that is a real conversation. This industry is built for anybody. I would like to throw this in there because when I looked at it, I was sold. But Director Mayberry, I was in your living room, and I guess it didn't register what we had access to because, we were looking at the information on the screen, and I said, hold up. Did that just guarantee us? He said, yeah, not just one guarantee, but 3 guarantees. And I sat up on your couch and I looked at it. I said, they're guaranteeing me, a profit my first year in business. They're guaranteeing me to test this business out for 30 days or refund my investment for 100%, no questions are asked. And they're guaranteeing my customers and clients the best travel price. It was a no-brainer, even if I was my own customer. If nobody else contacted me as an independent travel advisor, this would be it. Me and my husband and my daughter travel. Can I just say my daughter has been to the Bahamas at 6 years old, and it took me 28 years to get to that island. So I'm about that life, a product of the product, part-time, full-time. It's a lifestyle. Back to you.
Wow, I remember that day like it was yesterday in my living room looking at that, and I think that sold all of us those 3 guarantees. There was no way we could lose. No way in this world. Well, look, we're gonna move on. Thank you so much, Ms. McGowan, for that. That's amazing testimony. How many of you all would love to drive to work 30 minutes and earn $500? Go ahead and raise your hand. Or say me in the comments. I know. I mean, that was seal the deal. And everybody wants to travel, right? Miss LaVonda Thornton, I'm about to bring you up. People got cabin fever right now, right? I know you just put in the comments, man, I can't wait to get on the beach and put my toes in the sand and just let some sun hit my face. I mean, that's what it's all about. But LaVonda Thornton-Bush, you have grown a business part-time. I'm gonna say part-time because I see your kids. You got 2 kids and you homeschool and you a wife. So your job is at home and you have earned a 6-figure income online. I want people to know how really they can really work this business from the comfort of their home, from their smartphone, even while they're watching their kids at recess. Let's talk about that.
Yes, I love when people tell me they're not a salesperson. Me either. But the funny thing is, with what we have, everybody is already selling travel. When you go on a trip, you're taking a selfie on a plane. You want everybody to like and comment on your picture. When you get to the resort, you do room reviews. You're like, look where I'm staying. When you're on a cruise ship, you're going live while you're sipping your Mai Tais at the bar. Okay, you're getting likes and comments. When you go on those excursions and those tours, when you get that good food, like that good all-inclusive resort food, you take a picture and you show everybody your lifestyle. People do it anyway. And so when I got out of my head, I'm not selling this business. I just need to find people to share it with. Now, I've been a loner my whole life. I had a lot on my plate at an early age, right? So I was always working. I was always in school, always busy with my kids. So I had to figure out a way, how can I reach the most people in the most convenient time? There was one thing that was always around, and that was this cell phone. Okay. So I'm like, and I'm always on Facebook for no reason. Any of y'all ever had something you're supposed to be doing and somehow you end up on Facebook scrolling? So I realized I need to make use of my convenient time. I need to make use when my kids are taking a nap. When I lost my job, y'all, I was paying $1,600 a month in childcare. When that job went away, my babysitter had to go away. So I needed to figure out, how can I continue to build my business, not go back to work, not pay childcare. And there was one thing, the internet. I don't have to sell it. I don't have to convince people. People are willing to go to countries they can't even pronounce, okay? I'm one of those people. I remember when our host agency hosted a fam trip to Ixtapa, Mexico. Y'all, I didn't know how to pronounce it until I was in the airport. And the airline at the front desk, she was like, "Where are you headed?" And I said, whatever. I couldn't say it. She was like, "Ma'am, you're going to Ixtapa." I was like, "Well, thank you for that." Trip was already paid for, bags packed. I'm just ready to board. So we have something that we don't have to twist people's arms, and the average person can build a business online. 99% of my business has been built online with complete and total strangers. And trust me, somebody who didn't have a large network. Y'all, I had a private Facebook page until the day I lost my job. And I was still able to build this business to directorship with a private Facebook page. So that just goes to show you how powerful the travel industry is and how y'all can be at home with your babies and build an empire. Back to you.
Now, everybody, I know you're probably thinking, okay, these two, okay, they talking about this, and this is what I should have done in the beginning, but I'm going to go back to it now. So, Ms. Desiree Benson, we understand that a company rises and falls on its leadership. So I know everybody's sitting there patiently and heard all this exciting information, but we're talking about travel and network marketing industry, and you're no stranger to the industry, has done amazing, making over $250,000 inside of the industry and the #1 income earner in California. Can you talk to the listeners on the line, why this industry and why these companies?
Great question. Well, the industry, first of all, because network marketing is the most lucrative industry in the world. Although some people feel or think it's a pyramid, I was one of those people. So you can go ahead and raise your hand if you were, but just get educated about the matter, because actually, network marketing is marketing to your network of family and friends. Anytime you want to get a product to the market, the best way to get it is through word of mouth advertisement. I can't tell you guys the number of network marketing referrals I've made being home, right? I've referred to a garage. One of my friends needed a person to do her garage door. Another person needed a housekeeper. So we're doing this anyway, guys. So don't be afraid of that word, network marketing. It just simply means you can make a whole lot of money because your network determines your net worth. That's that side. Now, coupled with the best travel product, the best product there is in the industry, travel. My sister just told you guys, no, she didn't even know how to pronounce the word Ixtapa. Neither did I, right? But she went. She boarded the plane. She purchased the ticket to go somewhere she never heard of, right? And you're doing the same thing, guys, right? Each and every day. Can I tell you that people will be traveling again? Because I know you guys are thinking, oh, well, what about, the travel industry? I had a over the phone consultation today for my doctor. And he said, well, do you work outside the home? And I said, no, I work from home. Well, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a director with a marketing company and I sell home-based travel agencies. He goes, oh, people like to feel sorry for you, right? Oh, so that's not going too well for you. Yes, it is, because I made a decision on October 26, 2015 to get started with a company that paid me a director bonus today, like clockwork, because of something that I did years ago. See, guys, you got to get started before, your roof is leaking and you're like, oh shoot, I gotta call somebody, right? Isn't the best time is preparation, right? It's not panic, it's preparation. And see, for the ladies that you see on the reason why we can smile, the reason why we look so happy, the reason why we're in such peace is because we prepared before this storm came. Not making any light of the pandemic. It is here. We're all having to deal with it. It's horrific. We all know people that are on the front lines. We all know people who have passed away, and it's very tragic. What I want to ask you, though, is what are you going to do for the future? See, there is another storm that's coming, ladies and gentlemen, and you can get started with a company that, guys, has only been on board 4 years. So it's on the ground floor with stellar leadership, right? Coupled with a company that is the creator of the home-based travel agency. So I don't know which company you're with, if you're listening in, or which company you've heard about. See, I've been involved with 3 other travel companies before now. So I know what the best of the best of the best of the best looks like. And we have that, guys, because we are the creators of home-based travel agencies. We came up with the concept 28 years ago. So when someone tells you about another company, they've put it on the copy machine and made a copy of us, right? Join forces with the best, guys. Back to you, Miss Mayberry.
Wow. Y'all, look, this is too good. I got to keep going. I want to say something, but I'm not. I'm going to go on and hop out here because what you just said just made me hop up in my chair a few minutes ago, but I'll save it for the end. But thank you so much for that overview. I know Lynn no, come to me quick. So let me go out here to Atlanta, Georgia, because she's ready to talk. And Miss Lynn Hendricks, I love what you said yesterday when me and you had a conversation. You talked about having the ability in the midst of the crisis to still earn a paycheck. We did not know we was going to get paid twice today. I had to send the visionary and founder a text message and say, thank you so much. Yes, I got his number because he is approachable, because that's another thing I love about our companies. And Ms. Lynn Hendricks, so let's talk about the money.
Absolutely. I love to talk about the money.
Coming like that. Yeah, I know.
Especially coming from a person who I told you I struggled financially for more than half my life, and so coming into this business and then understanding the difference between linear income, leveraged income, and residual income. I knew linear income. I always worked for a company. And so every dime that came into my household was based upon me doing the work, based upon my efforts alone. And anyone that has ever amass any type of success, they did it with a team. And I didn't know that. And that really is the key, right? And so the leveraged income is where you're not just bringing in that income, you're getting paid off of the work that others are doing, right? And so we're doing it together. Now, interestingly enough, I met a young lady that lives in Shreveport, Louisiana. I had never even been to Shreveport, but I met her online, as LaVonda Thornton talked to you about, right? I was at home, met her online. She lives in Shreveport. She knew people that I didn't know. When I met her, she wanted to book her own honeymoon and get paid from it. So she partnered with me, but guess what? She knew some other people that wanted to do the same exact thing. And then when they partnered with her, she got paid and I got a 50% check match. Every single time she partners with someone, they get paid and I get a 50% check match. Imagine your friend, gets a job where you work and every single Friday they get their check and you get 50% of that amount. That's incredible, right? So that's that leverage income. Now that young lady has now helped over 500 families. See, now those 500 families I would not have known if it were not for her. And we're all working together. And I now have a team of well over 900 families. And that was me helping a few people who helped a few people who helped a few people, right? And what I love is that I started the business a little over 3 years ago, but now with that team of over 900, some of those people I helped 3 years ago and I'm still getting paid today. That's that residual income where you do something one time and get paid for it over and over and over again. And so, Ms. Mayberry talked about getting paid twice. Well, see, we get weekly checks, right? Every single week. So imagine whatever amount of money you're getting now. And I know some of you, unfortunately, are home and are not getting any income right now, right? And so imagine adding an additional 4 weekly checks. And then imagine adding a monthly residual check. And then imagine being able, once we start traveling, right, adding a monthly travel commission check. And then build your organization to directorship where you grow your team to 100. That's not you telling 100 people, that's you helping a few who help a few who help a few. Collectively, you grow to 100. And then imagine adding another monthly director commission check. Now, that is 7 to 8 checks a month, depending upon whether or not we have 4 or 5 weeks in the month, right? But 7 to 8 checks additionally. That's incredible. And I'll tell you, I worked for 30 years. I told you I started working at the age of 16. I worked for 30 years and no one ever thought enough of me to pay me a 6-figure income. And this company this year said, you know what? You're doing the work. You're going out there, you're helping people, you're impacting lives. You and your team are moving with synergy in impacting other people, and you've done the work, and you are now worthy of 6 figures. And so to have done that in 3 years is incredible. But now the last thing I want to tell you about is the legacy, because when you get to directorship, and that is the goal for so many people, and it's tangible. I love, when I hear about things that, someone says do this, and here's the evidence of people that have done it. It shows you that it's possible for you. If one person can do it, we all can do it, right? And so when you get to directorship, the founder said, now every single stream of income coming into your household, if something were to happen to you, all that we're going to do is change the name on the check and continue to send it to your heir. We're going to take your name off and add your heir's name. We're going to take your address off and add your heir's address. So all those incomes that I just talked to you about are going to continue. So now while you're here, we have the most aggressive compensation plan in the industry. And so he's going to take care of you while you're here. But when you're gone, he's going to take care of your family forever. That's called legacy, and that's incredible. Back to you, Ms. Mayberry.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Y'all, we're wrapping up. We're about to end it now, but we got to bring up this young lady, because one of the things people say is this: well, entrepreneurship, I want to be an entrepreneur. Some people have said I want to, but they can't afford it. So we're going to show you the difference between a traditional entrepreneur and actually investing, becoming a business owner. Y'all, it's two difference. So no better person to actually talk about this than restaurant owner over multiple restaurants at one time, Miss Natalie Alexander. Let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness. So we can talk about the physical aspect and the financial aspect, right? So let's start with traditional entrepreneurship. You're right. I owned multiple restaurants, but let me tell you, let's start with the physical aspect really, really quick. So I told you I have children. Well, let me tell you, my beautiful daughter, Carrington, is now 11 years old, right? And I remember when I had her, I had to have an emergency C-section, and I was having some complications. And I won't forget, it was on a Tuesday, and they rushed me in, and they had me signing paperwork, and they said, now, we want to just kind of let you know that you could die, in this surgery. And I was like, wait a minute, you can die having children, right? But it was just really, and so I was like panicking, right? Because I'm like, who's going to run the restaurant? You know what I'm saying? So, and then I will tell you, so everything went well. Carrington came out. She's beautiful. She's healthy. But on Friday, when they released me to the hospital, what happens on Friday? And that payday, that's payroll day. So as I'm leaving Emory Crawford Long Hospital downtown Atlanta, I had to swing through College Park, Georgia, and stop at my restaurant to do payroll. When I tell you, my husband was absolutely livid, right? Because we have this brand new baby, and you don't want people touching it. And of course, the servers are like, "I want to see the baby," and so then I found myself having to have a crib in the office at the restaurant. Right. So as my baby is growing up, she's running through the restaurant, right, stealing chicken wings off of customers' plates. So I'm going to tell you, that's the physical aspect of being a traditional entrepreneur. But now let's go to what I'm looking like right now. How much of a blessing is it that I have the ability to work this business from the comfort of my home? My commute is literally 22 seconds from my bed to this room right here. So I don't have to worry about all of that. I don't have to worry about that overhead. I now love the fact that I can sit here and work my business. And now, right now that I'm a new homeschooling mom, Miss Thornton, I'm gonna have to call you, Miss Thornton-Bush, I'm gonna have to call you for some for some tutoring advice on how to teach these children. But I don't have to make those hard decisions, right? And I sat back and I kind of freaked out, Miss Mayberry, because it cost me $200,000 to open one business, right? Let's talk about that financial aspect. And my overhead was $90,000 a month. Do you know I'm feeling right now for all of my chefs and my restaurant owner friends right now, because I had to send them a text message just to check on them and make sure that they weren't, on the edge of a ledge. Because had I been open right now, I know I would have been cringing because my overhead would have still had to be met. I know that I had 53 employees at a time, usually in one location. I would be feeling so bad if I would not be able to cut them a check every single week. Right? So what kind of hole would I be putting myself in? But y'all, I'm telling you, when I found this business, I'm going to give you the price tag. Wait for it. $199. When my friends came to me and they said, "You know what? I need your credit card for $200 real quick." I said, "Ooh, let me give it to you." And my card declined. Miss Mayberry, I was like, They said, "Your card declined." I said, "I know, I don't have $200. But I want to tell you, because even though I had a multi-million-dollar business, my restaurant was bringing $1.8 million a year. But that showed how I was still struggling financially at home, right? Because I was making sure everybody else was taken care of. So when she told me it cost $200, I said, "You know what? If I can own a business in the largest industry in the world and not have to worry about all of this overhead, not have to worry about having to buy an airplane to send a customer somewhere. I don't have to make any beds, right? All I have to do is connect person A to person B. All I have to do is help someone reach their financial goal. I'm in." It took me 6 hours to put my hands on that investment, right? The same day, because I understood my why could not be my why not. Then when she told me, I didn't even ask her how much the overhead was, Miss Mayberry. She said, "Do you want to know how much the overhead is?" I said, "As long as it's less than 90,000, I'm in," right? She told me that overhead was $59.90. I said, "Are you saying $2 a day to run this business?" She said, "Absolutely." I was like, "Where's the contract?" She said, "You don't even need a contract." I said, "Well, what's the gotcha?" And you already heard Ms. McGowan give you all of the guarantees. Right? So therefore, you telling me that in the restaurant industry, there aren't no guarantees. I'm begging people to come eat this chicken and these collard greens that I cooked, right? But over here, now you're telling me my business is guaranteed. It's going to cost me $200, right? Well, actually less than that, $199.90, and less than $60 a month to run a business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the money that Ms. Lynn Hendricks said. So I thought to myself, we have great conversations between me, myself, and I, and we're all pretty smart. I looked at the compensation plan and I said, "So the only thing that you're asking me for in exchange is $60 to unlock that compensation plan?" Oh, is it game over, Miss Mayberry? Back to you.
Well, my goodness. And it is game over. Y'all, now it's just time for you to make a quality decision. And I always say it's not even really is not a decision. It's a discussion. on what I want to name my business. You got access to 2 amazing companies, 2 pots of money, the ability to make 4 to 5 checks a month, have access to 7 to 8 streams of income. Y'all, it gets no better than. And then in the largest industry in the world, as Miss LaVonda Thornton said, you don't have to sell anybody on it. They're going to do it anyway. And as Miss Desiree Benson said, the travel industry is about to take a big incline. It's going to boom after this, what we're going through right now. And the best time to fix your leaking roof is before it starts leaking. Y'all, these ladies, they've been through storms. As I said, I call them survivors, because it might not have been a storm like it is right now. We just prepared for the next storm. Right? And that's what we want to do for you. So get back with the person that invited you. Listen, get your questions answered. They can give you questions. If you got any questions, they can get your questions answered. We answer the questions that was already in the chat. And it's not $1 million decision. It's $200, $200. And we will see you on the beaches of the world, or we will see you at the bank, but we hope to see you at both. Y'all take care and have an amazing, blessed night. And thank you for joining us. Panelists, amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so, so much for sharing your story.